If you're a recent high school graduate, you need to watch this video. And if you are a parent of a high school graduate, you need to watch this video and then show it to your high school graduate. Today, I'm going to give you some of the best advice that I received as soon as I graduated high school, and actually some of the things I learned along the way as I've gone through college. If you don't know me, my name is Jackson McCarthy, and I'm a pre-med student athlete. I had over a perfect GPA in high school, just under a perfect GPA in college, and I'm actually 24 and more mature going through this process, so I think my input would really help you. I learned a lot over the past few years, and if you watch this whole video, I think you will too. So if you're graduating or about to start college, take some notes. But first, like how we start every video, glory be to God and our Lord Jesus Christ. I hope you guys are having a great day. Now let's get into it. So as I go through these things, I'm going to treat you guys like my little sister. Her and I have had some conversations when she started college, but I was just starting out as she was starting out, pretty much just a year apart. So I didn't really understand a lot of these things until I actually got there. So now that I've progressed in the process, I can give you guys some more tips that I could have given her if I had waited, I guess. So let's start with the basics. Most people, when they go to college, they're moving away from home. It could be 1,000 miles away, or it could be 15 minutes down the road. But either way, you are no longer under your parents' roof. This means you have to make all of your decisions on your own with nobody on your shoulder pretty much telling you what to do. And because of this, you have to be accountable. So for example, in college, it is probably the easiest thing to just sleep through your morning classes and not show up, and not to do any homework. But the truth is, half of getting the grade that you want is just simply showing up and putting in the bare minimum for a lot of the things. A lot of it is just participation based. And it sounds super easy right now, but left to your own devices, chances are you are not going to show up when it's 7 a.m. and mom and dad are not there knocking on your door and your bed is feeling like a magnet and just pulling you straight down, wanting you to go back to sleep. And for better or for worse, a lot of the colleges, especially the smaller ones, will have classes that directly grade you on you just showing up. Not like, oh, they didn't really have a lot of input into the class, but no, literally you just sitting there and putting your butt in the seat will give you free points. If you simply don't show up, you are taking points off your grade for absolutely no reason. Do not waste you or your parents' money by simply not going to class. And a fair warning, if you do this a couple times in a row, it is becoming a habit and is way harder to break the more you do it. And to build on the fact that your parents aren't around, this can lead to potentially bad decisions. Now, no one should be drinking underage or practicing unsafe promiscuity, for lack of a better term. But the reality is, in college, people do it all the time. And if you choose to do this, which again, I am recommending that you do not, and I'm telling you not to, please be safe. I've known people that have gone way over the deep end and overindulged. They started drinking on the weekends, and then slowly it started to morph into weekdays and turned into solo drinking, and then they ended up in a pretty bad spot. And it's important to know your limits. When people go to college, they end up going hog wild, and they end up crossing that line. They end up doing way too much than they should, and they put themselves in a very vulnerable position and potentially life-threatening position because of the amount that they consumed. Not only do you make bad decisions, but you could actually die from like alcohol poisoning if that's what you're trying to do, or if you're doing drugs, you can overdose. These are the Debbie Downer kind of topics, but you need to know the consequences of going too far or making bad decisions and doing things that are illegal. And especially if you're with a group of people, watch your drinks. This is for the girls and the guys. No open containers. If you do not know where the drink came from, do not accept it. It is super easy nowadays for people to put drugs in your drink, and you will be left completely exposed and completely vulnerable to whoever is trying to take advantage of you. Know where your drinks are coming from if you are choosing to drink, which again, I strongly recommend you do not. But if you do, be completely safe and just know what you're ingesting and making sure that nothing is spiked and you are good to go. And this is crucial for having the buddy system too. Being by yourself when you're in a vulnerable position increases the danger factor by like 100-fold. Being with someone that you trust and who trusts you back may actually help you make some better decisions. And at least if you're doing dumb things, at least someone has your back. Now I repeat, making this abundantly clear, do not do anything illegal. Try to make the best decisions that you can. But if you do, please be safe. The world is a worse place without you in it, so please try to stay in it as long as you possibly can. Now, directly related to decision making are your friends or your friend group. The people that you surround yourself with have such a crucial impact on you and who you actually become. Now, it is said if you rank your friends on a scale of 1 to 10 based on their character, add them all up and take the average, that becomes your score and a reflection of your character. That is to say, if you have low quality friends, you become low quality. If you have high quality friends, you become high quality. The people that you surround yourself with can either raise you to new heights or they can absolutely drag you down and destroy your future. Now, to take a step back from the dramatics, here are some really important things you need to know about your friends in college. Something that a lot of new college introductees, I don't even know if that's the word, think is that they need to be best friends with their roommate. This is just not the case. I was very lucky my freshman year to have met my best friend and someone I consider a brother as my first roommate, and I was super lucky, but I've also known many people who have absolutely hated their roommates or simply disagreed with a lot of the choices they made, and they were like, I need to get away from this person. I do not want anything to do with them. And it is super natural for people to gravitate to the first person they meet in college, which is often your roommate, because the situation's brand new and you're going to want to do things together because that's like your built-in buddy. That's the person you're living with. That's the first association that you're going to make. But if it's going to put you in a vulnerable position, like they're doing things that you don't want to be a part of, there are things going on in your room that you just don't want to be around, or you simply don't like the person, it is completely your prerogative to go to the college and say, you know what, I need to remove myself from this situation. I don't want to be in this room anymore. You need to switch me. They are built and ready for this to happen because there are so many different types of people that a lot of times when they room together, they're just not compatible. So do not be afraid to switch roommates because they are the first friend that you made. Chances are you're going to be making new friends as the year goes on anyways, and you're going to find your people, and they can be completely different than your roommate. So that quick tip on the roommate end, do not feel like you are stuck. You can move. They don't need to be your best friend. Just let things happen organically, and if you don't feel safe or you don't feel comfortable with them, just get out. It's completely fine. People do it all the time. I've seen countless people go down the wrong path because their roommates started to make decisions and they became early friends and they thought, you know what, we're best friends because we're starting this process together. Don't let them sway you like that. Know who you are. Just do things at your own pace. If they're going to bring you down a bad path, get out. Now, to pivot away from the other people that you're going to experience, let's talk about you as a person and your development during college. When you're making the transition from high school to college, you're going from 5 days a week, 8-hour days, grinding, going from class to class to class. Now you're going to 18 credits a semester max. And a lot of times they're not just butted up. So you're going to have a lot more free time than you actually did when you were in high school. Now, if you are like me and you play a sport and you're in a pretty hard major, you may have less time than some of your peers who aren't doing those things. However, even during the busiest days, you're going to be able to find time, and the time ends up pretty much finding you. My advice is to use it wisely. It's common to gravitate towards video games or scrolling on TikTok as soon as you get that free second. But if you can really optimize your time and start maybe progressing towards your future, maybe it's joining a club or starting a new organization or going out and making new friends, doing something productive, you're actually setting up for your future by laying that foundation when you have that free time. Hell, you can even work and make some money. The chance that you will have this amount of free time again moving forward is so low. So you would be remiss not to take advantage of it because this is the only time you're really going to have it moving forward. You're going to be working for the rest of your life. And if you want to start a family, you're going to have kids, a wife or a husband to take care of. All of these different things are going to be thrown at you. So if you have this free time, take advantage of it. Do the things that you want to do or something that will help you later down the line. So if you are down the line in the future and you set this good foundation, maybe when you are more financially stable, because you did all the things early on, maybe you started a business in college, maybe you worked, you started gathering that base, you can do the cooler stuff later on. It's also completely valid to be like, well, if I'm never going to have this time again, shouldn't I just do what I want to do right now and then let all that other stuff happen later? That's completely valid. But it all comes down into what your goals are. If you want to be uncommon and really have an awesome life in the future and maybe be successful with money or the relationships that you're building, maybe take advantage of that free time. But if you're like, you know what, I just want to chill, I got this free time, let me just use it, or like let the work just kind of linger over there later when I'll deal with it, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, that's completely fine. It's what you decide to do. I recommend you use it, but again, you're an adult now, so you have to decide it for yourself. But regardless of what your goals are, it is important that you stay healthy and you have a good quality of life. And the easiest way that you can completely derail your college experience, or your life as a whole is a bad sleep schedule. Now, people don't put a lot of stock in it, or they overlook this all the time. Now, there will be late nights out with friends, and those aren't what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you go back to your dorm at the end of the night and you stay up till 3 a.m. watching Netflix or playing video games. Your body has a timer that's based off the sunlight. So if you are staying up super late and you're sleeping out throughout the day, that timer is completely shifted and it's thrown off whack. If you don't have a good sleep schedule, your mood, your appetite, your retention, your sharpness, your clarity, all of those things get disrupted and your quality of life dramatically decreases. Your overall health is so intertwined with sleep. So please be healthy. Yes, enjoy the time with friends on those late night outs. That's what it's for. But don't stay up super late where you're just destroying your brain, because you will be miserable, and especially as you get older, you're going to feel it. But on a real note, college throws a lot at you. You have your academics to worry about. You have to worry about making new friends, and you're tackling new situations that you probably never have been in before. Having a plan for each area of your life will help you keep you straight. When you have a plan, the path and actions that you need to take become crystal clear. So if you're like, my plan is to get a 4.0 GPA this semester, well, the actions and plan that I'm going to take is I'm going to study every night to make sure I retain the material. Or if you're like, my plan is to make new friends, well, I'm going to dedicate a lot of time joining new organizations, new clubs. I'm going to try to meet as many people as possible so I can have a pretty wide friend group. But the most important plan are for potentially dangerous situations. Being at college, you will meet strangers. Having a plan for when those strangers potentially or have the possibility of doing something to harm you or your friends is a lifesaver. For example, when I go to parties or when I go out, I immediately scout out the exits and I have a plan for how I could leave if I need to at a moment's notice. Oh, that'll never happen is true until it happens. Something so simple but could end up saving you, maybe even your life if you are smart about it. Just making those small decisions to keep yourself safe and having a plan to keep other people safe can really, really do wonders. As a young adult, you are now a person and not a child. Your decisions have greater consequences now, because the excuses of, oh, she's just a kid, or he didn't know any better, those don't fly anymore. You are an adult. In college, how you carry yourself, how you build your reputation, or how you treat other people and professors, it all matters, and especially for job outlooks in the future. If you are the president of a club and you're known for being an awesome human being and you have great relationships with your professors, you show up to class all the time, jobs are going to figure that out. They're going to find that very quickly, especially in the interview process. They're going to hire you. They're going to choose you. But on the other hand, if you never go to class, you vandalize things all the time, you're always putting people down, and you're just an absolute jerk, that's going to come across too, even in your writing and your resume. And when you go into an interview, they're going to decide, you know what, this guy's an absolute loser, or this chick is not what we want in our business or in our company, and they're just going to bypass you so quickly. Like, for real, do you think it's going to be easy to get a letter of recommendation from a professor if you don't show up and you're just disrespectful all the time? It's just not going to happen. That's not how life works. But even aside from the professional part, the social aspect is huge. With phones and social media, people know you before you know them. Your reputation carries and it echoes and it spreads like wildfire. So however you present yourself, that's going to be magnified tenfold. Would you rather a stranger who doesn't even know you, who's never even met you, think that you're a jerk, or someone that they were like, you know what, I'm going to be friends with that guy? Or, you know what, I heard she's really cool. She's a really good person. What is more important and what's going to be better for you? So to put it simply, what goes around comes around. If you are putting positivity out in the world, it's going to come back to you. If you're putting negativity out, it's going to kick you right in the butt. That's just how life works, and it seems to be truer every single day. So all of this is to say, the one final wrap up of this entire video that I can give you is be a good person, work hard, do your best, and enjoy it, because it's only 4 years, and then after that, you're in the real world. So do the best you can, be a good person, help other people when you can, and it'll all work out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. These are just some of the things that I learned along the way, and I think it's super important for recent high school graduates to learn this too. I hope this finds the right people. I hope if you're a parent, you will show your child this, because it really is important. And I hope you guys have a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those things. I'm a small creator. I'm trying to grow a little bit. So the more that you watch, the better. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.